So there's basically three types of cutting boards. You have face grain. This isn't a cutting board, this is a charcuterie board, but you could use it as one. Your meats and cheeses type thing. But you can tell what the face grain does is if you can get a really nice piece of wood, you can get all this beautiful character that shows up. It'll scar real easy though, the more you use it as a cutting board. The other one we have is an edge grain cutting board. So this one here is a walnut with some purple heart sandwiched between some pieces of maple, curly maple. So the difference is that this one here has been used quite a bit, but you can see that the edge grain that pattern that it brings out quite a distinctive difference between the regular grain pattern and the face grain pattern, I should say, and the edge grain, or some people call it side grain pattern. Whereas this one here is an end grain pattern. So what is the difference between these two really, other than the looks? So they're natural wood, so you need to take care of them. They need to be bathed in mineral oil and then waxed. The mineral oil helps preserve the wood itself, and then the wax helps keep moisture, liquids, water, any kind of juices that you would get from fruits or vegetables that you cut up. Helps keep that from penetrating it. So when you cut on these though, this one, an edge grain, is more susceptible to leaving marks. If you keep it up by putting mineral oil on it, it doesn't show that much. And these are the typical ones that have stood the test of time. So they're pretty solid and they're very beautiful. The end grain ones, so the grain on this stands up like this. So when a knife comes down, it's softer on the knife. It can go between the wood, the actual fibers of the wood. And when the knife comes back, they close back together. So the knife can come down and come back together. So it protects the edge of the knife and it protects the board as well. These are much more difficult to make. They take probably half, if not twice as long as an edge grain one. So that's why we're taking so much time to do this one. So there's one final thing to do before we put the feet on, the little rubber feet that go on the bottom here. Okay. So, and that means that it needs to get its mineral bath, and that's where the magic happens. The difference between these two when it comes to the bath is this type of edge grain one, it's edge grain or side grain one, will tend to keep the colors. It'll darken it a little bit, but it'll tend to keep the colors more so than the end grain, because the end grain is going to soak up that oil quite a bit. And so what does that mean? Well, that means that at first, when we give this a bath, and you'll see it, it'll be a very bright color and it'll look gorgeous. And then over a period of 24 hours or so, it'll darken as it takes in all that mineral oil. But it'll still be unbelievably beautiful. So without delay, let's give it a bath.